All right. Good evening. How are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, whenever time you've been listening to this. So without wasting any time today, we'll be moving into the module 3, which is simply mastering our other blocks. All right. And you can put maybe like an hyphen and indicate where to buy or sell. All right. So that is that for that. So what is this all about? What does this information or this module or this place of study, what does it involve? Well, it involves the understanding of not just knowing your bias, not just knowing your bias as in whether the market is in an uptrend. If you want to remember how to know your bias, you have to move back to module 1. Not just knowing your bias, but also it involves knowing where to buy. This is an uptrend, right? Good. Because we have a break of structure here, and possibly a change of character here, right? But that's not all that there is. We have to also know the particular place to buy. So that is why we'll be looking into the module of today, which would be, hold on a bit. We'll be looking at the module of today, which would be this mastering our order block. So firstly, what is an order block? Well, I'm not going to give too much stress towards defining and making everything so theoretical. Instead, it's going to be very practical. But I like for you to understand that there are two types of order blocks. There is the internal order block and there is the external order block. Still on our loss algo, what you have to do to find your order block, alright, is you have to click here firstly, then you have to turn off this internal order blocks and turn on your swing order blocks. So these swing order blocks have much more, they have less noise and they have much more power compared to internal order blocks, in my opinion. So it's best that you do things that are more swingish, that are more external, that are more bigger and better in nature compared to taking noisy trades. All right. So having said that, you have to check for any other thing. All right, good. So we now have our swing order block. And don't forget, in the last class, we also had something quite very new, not that new, which is called sessions. So we have to click that. Oops, my own is a bit messy. So my own is a bit messy, so I'll have to go ahead and first turn things off. Don't forget, we are leaving only the Tokyo session. We are also removing this daily divider, so definitely we'll be able to have a clean chart as this. I think there's also something for us to turn. The range, whatever, and I think this range and this things, hold on a bit, just leave only the range on the Tokyo. There's no need on editing anything here on the London or on the New York since we switched it off already. Alright, so on the Tokyo, just leave the range, remove the VWAP and all of those things. Alright. Now, so don't forget we have this, we treated this lastly in our class, module 2. Now that we understand our sessions, a good student will ask, why did we go through all the stress of that session? Well, that's because of what I'm about to teach and lecture you on right now. So now this is the time where you actually pay more attention in the class. Grab your popcorn, make sure that you get your jotter and write down things. It's going to get very, very much, you need your full attention here. So firstly, whenever we want to take out where to buy, we are going to be on the 30 minutes time frame. So that's why you can understand why they are actually, sorry, they're supposed to be the 1 hour here. Yeah. So that's why you can see these are very specific time frames that were selected. So there's a 5 minutes, there's a 30 minutes, there is the 1 hour, 2 hours, and 4 hours. So the 30 minutes is basically for checking and mastering basically for selecting our order blocks. So what are we going to do right now is, firstly, on the Tokyo session, which is this pinkish thing right here, for example, let me be selecting one. I will select just one Tokyo session. All right, so that we can use that. So I'll be selecting this Tokyo session right here. So for example, what we do on the Tokyo session is that we look closely to see if the market beats it, in the sense that if we are in an uptrend, don't forget, let's say we've gotten our uptrend from, okay, you know what, let's do a walkthrough. Let's actually walk through the market together. All right, good. So hold on a bit. So by this we can see that we are in a downtrend, but I said we should use 1 hour, right? Did I say 1 hour or 2 hours? Just in case I said 2 hours in the module 1, please correct it to 1 hour, because 1 hour helps you. It makes things actually balanced. It makes things actually balanced. It makes things actually balanced, and it helps you to be much more you won't be blind to the market. At the same time, you won't take noise. So it just creates balance. So this 1 hour, we can see that we are on an uptrend, and before this guy, we were on an uptrend up from here. But mind you, this was 31st of March 2026 that we were on uptrend. So we are going to be looking at everything starting out from the 31st of March. We are going to behave like we are not in this. We are not seeing all of this. All right. So we are going to be looking at, firstly, this particular range. Now, not to confuse you, let's go back to the 30 minutes. All right. So this is what we are looking at. We are looking at this guy right here. This one right here, right? So now that we have that, like I said, just pay attention. If you get trickish, you have to pay attention. So now that we have that, what we do is we have this session. Let's pay attention to this session. Permit me. Sorry. Hold on. Let's pay attention to... Sorry. Hold on a bit. So let's pay attention to this session. So particularly on this session, what we have to do is that if we have seen that we are on an uptrend, the next thing for us to do is to make sure that, or is to follow that trend. We know we are in a buying scenario. I've taught you how to find trend. Now we want to know how to follow the trend, which is by buying if you are in a buy trend and selling if you are in a selling trend. So where do we now buy from? So pay good attention. If you were not writing, now is a good time to start writing. And now is a good time to start writing. So the first thing you do is, on the Tokyo session, you have to mark out if the market actually crossed to the upside or crossed to the downside. So if you cross to the upside first, pay attention. If you cross to the upside first, we are looking out for the first order block the first order block on this range right here. Alright, the first order block on this range right here. And I'll still show you what an order block is so that you will not get confused. Alright, so we're looking at the first order block in this range right here. Don't miss the point. So as you can see, the market first cleared to the upside. This was the range. The market first cleared to the upside. What I mean is that the market first pushed to the upside before coming down. So therefore, we are looking for what? We're looking for a buy. Good. So definitely, we now have to use the order block that was located here. Alright? The other block that was located here. And so let's just mark this very well so that we can, this is why we will now go to the 5 minutes. So an internal order block on the 30 minutes can sometimes be a swing order block on the 5 minutes. Just write this down. You can rewind the video and write this down. So I move to the 5 minutes. Alright. And I go back to that day. Hopefully I can find it and find this fast. Alright. So this is the 5 minutes. Good and good. Very good. So honestly speaking, hold on a bit. There are many things that you have to consider. Please, where is the, hold on. Alright. So this is it right here. So let us now zoom in and let us pay good attention to what we are doing. So now looking at this market, the first thing to do firstly is to look for the swing block. You will not be able to see the swing block now because the indicator must have like moved on. Alright, but this was going to be the swing block. And I'm going to show you what I mean right now. Which means the other block. Alright. So this is exactly what I mean. This thing right here. This one is clean because this one is not yet clean, but this one has been cleaned as the market is moving on. Alright. So the indicator must have moved on. So we had the hope of all these things we are doing was the hope of buying. Where? Yeah. So you can see our buying is dependent on Tokyo session, and what is dependent on what happened on the previous Tokyo session. So can you see now that assuming we bought here, we would have lost, right? Because market will have beat our order block. But let us not forget that trading involves risk, alright, and you actually lose. But now let's look at what happened on the next day. Let's see what happens. On the next day, this is 5 minutes, so you can't expect the market to be the same on 30 minutes. So let's look at it from a 5 minutes set of view. We can still look at it from 30 minutes, but I feel that I'll still come back to 5 minutes and the time will, let me just go ahead. It's better for us not to waste. So exactly. So this is what we have on the 30 minutes. Still the same thing. Alright. So let me just use 5 minutes since I need 5 minute swing blocks. So instead, you can just go ahead on the 5 minute chart. Alright. That's much more, it makes you less confused of what you are doing. Alright. By the way, this is going to have like a set of instructions, written instructions to help you on your chart. Alright. So this is pay very good attention if you are watching. Alright. So now this is a whole range. Don't forget we've been an uptrend. We are just following the trend. Alright. So that's why it's good to also check back. Let's say like maybe few times whether we are still in an uptrend, and we do that through the 1 hour chart. Alright. You can choose 2 hours, but I prefer you use 1 hour. Alright. Okay, having said all that, now we are on this range and we can see that the market, and also another benefit of using 5 minutes is that certain times a 30 minutes candle is not too clear. Like for example, this now, okay, I have to show you. But anyways, you can see that the market pushed to the upside on the Tokyo session, meaning it cleared to the upside. On this former one, it did not. Yeah, you can see it did not. It did not. You can see where market was just perambulating, then pushed to the downside. Like, I mean, after the range, after the close of the range, did it push to the downside or did it push to the upside? It did not anywhere. But yeah, after the close of the range, it pushed to the what? Upside. So therefore, we are looking for what? For buys. And because we are looking for buys, it is clear that we will be using this swing block of the 5 minutes. Don't forget, rather than stretching yourself with 30 minutes internal or wherever I said earlier, just understand that we are using this swing block, this blue guy, of the 5 minutes. Then, therefore, we will now be placing our buy right here. Hold on a bit. Don't forget, we lose before. Alright, don't forget we lost before, but now let's see if what we did would have helped us. So let's say we placed our entry here, and we set our SL, or don't forget this is a swing block. This old guy, not this one, this old guy. So because of that, we can now even stretch our SL a bit. Not because of that, but always stretch your SL, because you can't be too correct. So let's say this is 17 pips now. SL. Well, let's just add more 5 pips. Like 17 plus 5 will be 22. So let's say 22. So let's say our RR, we need like, let's say 3R. Hold on a bit. Let's say 3R. 3R should be fair. But I tell you to aim for 2.5. But let's just see. So you can see this was like 3.4R and the market actually like clicked on it. Let's say it was 3R, so still click on it and all of that. So you keep on moving. That is just how we trade. Let's do another one. Don't forget we have a win here, one win. Let's look at another win. So it's not all about winning. You are going to lose sometimes. So don't forget what I said. We are still in an uptrend. We're on the 5-minute chart. We see this Tokyo session. We see that the market has beat the Tokyo session to the upside. So that now says, okay, good. This thing is actually following our bias. It's actually following our trend. It's pushing to the upside. So what do we now do? We now use this guy. This guy was going to be a swing block. If you were, don't worry. This guy was going to be our swing block. And because it was going to be our swing block, we put our long trade here. And we put our SL here. But don't forget what I said. This is 11 plus 5, 16. Oh, so we can see that we still lost the trade. Alright, you can see we still lost the trade right here. But we lost the trade anyways. But losing here, winning here, losing there, we are still in a win all through. Alright? But I want you to understand that, hold on a bit. Market moves by sessions. Market moves, basically I'll say by time and by volume. Let me just say by time. So now that you understand sessions, how to buy or where to buy there's a reverse case which I'll be teaching you probably in the next class. But for now, understand that you move into the 5 minutes. When you move into the 5 minutes, then you check where the market had passed the entry, whether market was just parabolating, whether it moved to the downside. Instead, if we are in an uptrend, we are not going to follow that. This is going to be treated in the reverse case. Alright? If we are in an uptrend and market is pushing Tokyo session to the downside, after Tokyo session has been closed, we are not, like for example now, we are in an uptrend. See this Tokyo session closed there, market pushed to the downside. Alright? You are not using any change of character. You're just using your eyes. Like for example now, market closed there, pushed Tokyo session to the upside. So we follow that trend. Yeah, market is not following our trend. So what do? We leave it for the day. We don't do anything. We don't do anything. So that is that for that. I like for you to understand that you come to the 5 minutes to do 2 things. To not just know where market whether market is following your trend or not, but also to look for your order blocks. And your order blocks most times is given on the charts because of the aids it has. So because of the indicator you are using. So with time, you know how to look at another block by yourself without anyone even telling you. It's going to be a psychological thing that you just know it by by you looking at the chart. So having said all that, I like for you to do the assignment of knowing, giving me whether it is a buy or a sell on SPX and telling me where to buy from. Do I make myself clear? Don't forget, you know where your bias is on the 1 hour. Instead of moving to the 30 minutes, discard what I said earlier. Just move to the 5 minutes. Start from the 1 hour to know your bias. Move to the 5 minutes to know where you are to buy from. How will you know that? You look at the Tokyo session, you clear it down. Like you check whether if you are in a downtrend and market cleared down, then we can now say market is following our trend and we can look for an order block. If we are in an uptrend and market cleared down, we don't do anything except market clears up. Then we can now say, yes, market's following our trend. So basically, we know our trend from the 1 hour. We come down to the 5 minutes to determine whether market is following our trend and where we can buy from if market is following our trend. And that where is called the order block, the swing order block of the 5 minutes, not 2 hours, not 4 hours, not 5 minutes. All right. So that you can buy and you can sell. So order blocks, not internal, not swing order blocks. So having said that, I would like for you to give me where to buy from or where to sell from if you are in a buying or selling on SPX and NAS 100.